Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back. Thank you so much for clicking play. Now, y'all know I've been checking out Jesse Lee Peterson. I'm sorry, I'm laughing already, man, because of what he do to people in conversations is crazy, man. It's crazy. He's so calm all the time, but he piss everyone off that he's talking. And we got a good one, man. It says that, let me see what this one right here says. Oh man, I can't wait to see. I'm laughing already. Y'all know I'm silly as hell. Please pay me no mind, man. It says Jesse triggers Black Lives Matter. The original link will be down below. So if you want to go ahead and skip this and watch that, that's cool too. But if you want to stay and have fun with me, I would love that. All right.
You are a member of Black Lives Matter.
Yes.
And how long have you been a member?
Again, to 2014.
And did you know that Black Lives Matter was an organization that was founded by a bunch of fat black lesbians who hate God, who hate the family, order of the family, who hate
Why he say fat black lesbians? Bruh, like the first thing you say is, did you know that Black Lives Matter was started by a bunch of fat black lesbians? Come on, bro. You can't just do that, man. I
fat
told
black
y'all he
lesbians
wild.
who hate God, who hate the family, order of the family, who hate the unborn child, and they admitted, at least one of them, that they're a Marxist group and they've been trained to do what they're doing. Did you know it was founded by some fat black lesbians?
Wow. So, okay. So first of all,
Did you know that?
what we're not going to do is insult folks, right?
Well, they claim to be lesbians and they fat and they're black. I didn't do it.
Well, no, so.
But did you know that it was founded by them?
Well, yes, but also too, like I said, we're not going to insult them. That's not cool, right? So don't do that again.
Would they consider that an insult?
Yes.
Why would they claim to be that? Why would they consider it an insult?
Well, time out.
I've interviewed them.
So again, like I said, like we're not going to talk about them like that.
But you knew it was founded by them, right? Before you joined?
I personally know them, right? So we're going to stop that part.
And you knew that before they joined. What made you join knowing that? Because normally men don't follow women like that. What made you do it?
Well, so I want to touch on a couple of points that you brought up.
My man is upset already, bruh. He is in protection mode. He's saying, listen, hold on, calm down. What you not going to do, brother? What you not going to do is talk about these ladies, man. Look. We can talk. We can finish talking, but what you not going to do, when you call them ugly, nah, don't do no more of that. Don't do that. I don't want to have to jump over there. Well, walk over there, because I ain't jumping, but I don't want to have to jump over there and get pulled off of you by your security. So please don't address the ladies like that again, because that's not going to be that. My brother is ready to fight all dag already, which is, hey, I get it. I get it, because this guy got away, man. Jesse Lee Peterson, he know how to trigger people in the calmest way possible.
Right. So first off, right, like I think, well, you're a working man, right? You have people who work here.
Yes.
Do you know why you get weekends off, or why people have weekends off?
Right.
I'm asking
to
you.
rest. To rest. Supposedly to rest.
Oh,
to reflect and take care of things around the house.
Okay, cool. And I'm assuming that people typically might work, you for full-time folks, 8-hour work days?
Some of them, the lazy ones don't, but
Yeah, right. So that, right? So where do you think that the idea that people should get time off and that the workday shouldn't go on for 12 and 14 hours, where did it come from?
I don't know, but it's a bad idea.
Is it?
They need to work 24 hours a day. I want to make them slaves.
Wow.
But somebody came up, probably some stupid union or something.
Whoa.
But,
Okay. So time out, right? So you said somebody founded some union.
I said probably some stupid union came up with that idea.
Well, so again, so I think the challenge, right, is that those, like, having a day off or having days off, right, like, and having 8-hour work days is ideas informed by Marxism, right? The Communist Manifesto specifically speaks to the worker.
So he's saying that the people who made all of the changes that work for us on a day-to-day basis only happened because Marxists made some moves toward what was the status quo. Is what he's saying. That's what I'm understanding. Okay.
That was created, right? Like, and that is what led to the creation of unions that protect people's labor. So I wouldn't necessarily frame it or frame that as a bad thing because I think most of your viewers kind of enjoy their days off. So they have Marxists to thank for that. So I just want to let
Are
you
you a
know.
Marxist?
Am I a Marxist? I think what I
So when he says you have Marxists to thank for that, is he saying that Marxists are usually considered the change agents? They're considered the rebels against a failed government. Is that what he's saying? I'm really trying to understand, guys. I'm only asking because I really don't know, man. I'm just I learned a lot from you guys.
am, right, is I'm somebody committed to the liberation of oppressed peoples globally.
Are you a capitalist or a Marxist?
I'm definitely not a capitalist, no.
Are you a Marxist?
I think what I am is I'm somebody committed to the liberation of oppressed
But I'm
peoples.
asking you, are you a Marxist?
Again, like I said, it's not that simple. If you've read,
Are you a socialist?
have you read Cedric Robinson's Black Marxism?
No.
No,
Well, I'm just
I'd
trying to
encourage
find
you
out
to
about
read
you. Are you a socialist or a Marxist? I think they're both pretty much the same, but which one are you?
What I am is I'm somebody dedicated to the liberation of all oppressed peoples.
And so you're not a capitalist, right?
No.
So you don't believe in earning your way and getting paid for your earning?
Well, I think the broader issue, right, is that people assume that that isn't in socialism, or people assume that that isn't in, right, like other economic forms of being, when that's not the case. People work not only to earn their wage, but also too to earn their way into the community,
But not
right?
socialist people.
Well,
They are controlled by others.
time out. How about you define what you think socialism is?
It's people who want to control other people.
Okay, and where did you hear that from?
Common sense. 'Cause when you look around, that's what
Time
they
out,
do.
time out. Is that common sense,
Yes.
or did you read it from somewhere?
No, it's common sense. I've been in the world for a while now, and I see how. I remember when the blacks were not controlled. I was born in Alabama on a plantation, and black people used to get married. They thought and did for themselves. They were not controlled by government. Because I didn't even know about welfare because blacks were not into that. They didn't have black leaders. They didn't accept all
When
this.
were you born?
They didn't accept all
What
this
year were you born?
wrongdoing. It's been so long now. 49, I think.
Oh, you was born in
49.
1949.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
so
let me just make this point though, because of time.
Okay.
And so blacks were individuals. They thought and did for themselves. They looked out for others when time of need and the right time. But when the so-called civil rights movement started, black people sold their lives over to the so-called black leaders and then the government. And now they are like groups, and they are being controlled by the government and by other people who are insecure, and they need a sense of security, so they keep blacks down in order to control them. But I want to know
And
what
time
may,
out,
as a man, what
That was a heck of a breakdown, Jesse. That just shows the inner workings of how people started to separate into those little groups. How people was dedicated toward this side and others was dedicated to the
made
other.
you decide to
What-
follow Black Lives Matter? Because
What-
normally men don't follow women, especially radical women.
Well, before I go there, you had mentioned that in this transition in civil rights, or how you framed it, you had mentioned that that at some point black folks were self-sufficient, and because of civil rights stopped being self-sufficient.
Yes.
Um,
First of all,
so-
there's
oh,
no
oh,
such thing as civil rights, but they sold themselves over to
Okay,
that.
okay.
so-called
Hold on. So I think the challenge, and you had also said at a certain point that people didn't receive welfare, right?
Right.
That people didn't receive it.
Never heard of it till I moved to the city.
Okay, so look, so now let's take those ideas and let's dive a little bit deeper.
Real fast
Right.
because we run out of time. We have some more guests coming up. But I'm enjoying talking to you.
Okay, well again,
I want to know what made you as a male decide to follow a bunch of radical women.
well I think
Now, that's not normal. What
Well,
made you decide to do it? What
well,
made
He said
you
that's not
well,
decide to do it?
normal.
I think the issue isn't whether or not, you know, like men can follow women's leadership. I know I can because women can lead and women can do a damn good job leading.
So were they created?
Women can lead, Jesse. Women can lead, and they do a fantastic job leading sometimes, man. Just like men are great leaders sometimes. I know what the past is set up for us to do, and how it used to be back in the day. But yeah, that's he's not lying
To
there,
lead
Jesse.
or follow?
Women were created to be full human beings.
Were they created to lead or to follow?
That women were created to be full human beings.
How about were they created to lead?
Again, you're doing that thing where you're saying
Because you're
you're
not.
Well, he's just referring to what we've been taught the entirety of our lives. I mean, if you look inside the Bible, well, I'm sure you're bro. I'm listening to you, my man. I don't have your name right here. It just says you're an LA activist. But what I can surmise from just listening to you so far, I think you're extremely intelligent, and what he's saying is something that you comprehend with 100%. You are just in a moment of chess and checkers, and well, you are playing chess is what you're playing, and you don't want to be clipped up. Rather than having a conversation, to just, I mean, well, not having a conversation, you're having a conversation, but you're not trying to be clipped up by his questions because you know what he's attempting to do. He's attempting to get you to fully understand why he has the position that he has, and at the same time you're trying to get him to fully understand why you have why you hold the position, the position you hold. um but in order for you to realistically um want that from him, you got to be able to give as well. All right, so what that might mean is you're going to take some hits. You're going to take some hits. There's going to be some chinks in your armor from this right here. And that's simply from you being true to yourself. Because when you try to get around the questions, what you're doing is you're making yourself look like you're incapable of answering, or you're making yourself look ignorant, which you are not.
Not answering my question. You're a really smart guy. You get your doctoral.
Yeah.
You're a smart guy from UC Berkeley. So I'm asking you, were women created to lead or to follow?
Women were created to be full human beings.
I
That's my
didn't ask
answer.
that question though.
But that's my answer.
How you going to get a good grade up at UC Berkeley? You can't answer a simple question.
Well, I think as somebody who is a researcher, the answer is never directly in, right, like the question, the question itself is the problem. So that's why I'm giving you a different
What's the
answer.
problem with that question?
Because the answer would then assume that we're like, well, if I say that, well, women are meant to follow, right, then that means that women are somehow incredibly subservient. That is not the case at all.
So even if it's true, you can't say it?
No, it's not true.
But if it's true, could you say it?
No, it's not true.
No,
See, what he just now said was what I just now said. He's saying that the question was wrong to him because he assumed that the setup was going in a way that would not be favorable toward his argument. That's exactly what I just now said. So he went outside of that question to answer whatever he wanted to answer so he not get clipped up. Playing a game of chess. The longer we play games of chess and we just not have conversations, we just think, okay, yeah, I'm gonna answer this question. Blah, 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 blah. But boom, boom, boom. I'm gonna give you my point too, but I'm gonna answer your question. What you thinking is he's trying to take control. This is a lion's den, and we already know what's happening. He's trying to be the dominant one in the building, and I'm not gonna let that
I
happen.
didn't ask you if it was true or not. I said, if it was true, would you be able to say the truth?
Well, but that's not true.
I didn't ask him. I'm asking you, would you be able to say yes, the truth to that if it was true?
Well, I'm not going to answer a hypothetical question because that's not true.
Amazing. So do you believe that Black Lives Matter?
I do.
What does that mean?
Black Lives Matter means that
Also,
black people and their full humanity, right, their lives should not be harmed or stolen by state-sanctioned violence.
Who does it matter to?
Black lives should matter not only to us, but to everybody.
Not sure.
he specifically said by state sanctioned violence, assuming that the people that are paid by our taxes, that's the only violence that they're considered. They're created for that and that only. So that's why it always goes back. Okay, you're called Black Lives Matter, but it seems to us that you do not care too much about Black lives because the Black lives outside of the state sanctioned violence is crushing the community far more than what you're spending all your time and resources fighting.
Good, but who does it matter to?
Black Lives Matter to everyone and
Like who?
everybody.
Like who, for example?
Everybody who's a contact in your phone, all the people here, whether we're talking about the state, whether we're talking about the government, whether we're talking about the police, whether we're talking about people in our
Does
community.
Black lives matter to Black people?
Absolutely.
Or why are they killing each other?
So to get to that point, I think, right, like when you talk about issues, especially of intra-communal violence, right, people kill who they're next to. Like people don't just go out and kill somebody because I'm killing you because you're Black, right? Like when people commit harm, when people commit violent acts, it's oftentimes in retaliation to something or it was for a specific reason.
Brother, he's talking specifically about Black people. You're talking about people. And this makes people who are watching this look at you as disingenuous because you're intentionally going around the question so you not get clipped up, so you not get cornered. Just talk to the dude, man. Just answer the question. And I say that because if you're looking at this and you don't agree with me, whoever's looking at this and don't agree with my stance, that's cool. Even if you do agree with me, that's thank you. I appreciate it. But where I'm coming from is you're specifically talking about the people that are represented on your shirt, which are Black people. All right. He's talking about Black communities. He's talking about Black intra-community violence. He wanted an answer to that because that Black intra-community violence is extremely profitable, that is supported by the Black community, which is music and most of the time, and everybody want to live like the music, and we know what's happening from it. We are literally the only race of individuals who, well, we're not anymore because people are following suit. People are following suit, but through hip hop, we brag about causing harm to ourselves and our communities. We brag about that. And the more we do it, the more money we get, the more profitable we become. And that make other people want to be just like them. And then you already know it's a cycle. It's the same thing over and over and over again. That's what he's talking about. You have an opportunity as a researcher to educate his audience. Now, not that you care to educate his audience, that might not be the case. Maybe you're on the channel, you're on the show right now, not to educate his audience, but just to let him know that, hey, I'm smarter than you and I'm sharper than you. And I saw what you did to the other people that you interview. You will not get me like that. They are waiting for me to come up here and do this. You got Jasmine Abdullah to leave the stage. You're not going to do me the same way. And that's all this is about, man. It's just about posturing yourself so you can win an argument. That's not going to help anyone.
Right. And then when that happens, those people are then, put through the criminal justice system and prosecuted for it.
So
right.
Black lives only matter
Time out. I'm not done talking.
I'm not done. If it's
I'm not done.
conditions are right.
I'm not done talking. Right. There are community organizations that have been fighting back against that type of violence for a very long time. Let's say, for example, here in Los Angeles, we have an organization like Second Call that was working against, that's been working right to make sure that gangs don't have beef with each other. They work on ceasefires between neighborhoods that have been, working or that have been right like at war for years, right? So there are organizations that are doing the work to stop the intracommunal violence. So Black lives have always mattered to Black people. Organizations like the Brotherhood Crusade, organizations.
But because of time, do Black lives matter to those Black people who are killing other little Black children?
Yes, like
You
Black
said
lives.
yes, it matters.
Yes, Black lives matter to
Well,
Black
why are they
people.
killing those children then?
Again, right? Like what you're missing in this broader thing is that again, intracommunal violence is a broader challenge, right? Like that we have worked on internally in our communities for years, right? Like people never ask those questions when white folks kill 85% of white people. That's not called white on white crime.
Does Black lives matter enough to Black people that they will encourage two parents in a home?
I think Black lives matter enough to Black people to where it doesn't matter what kind of parents we have in the home.
But do they
that
encourage? Do Black lives matter enough for Black people to encourage two parents in the home?
I think Black lives matter enough to Black people to where we want to make sure that we build a better world for Black children.
Do white lives matter?
I think yeah, like nobody would ever say that they didn't.
But do they?
Yeah.
Okay. Do Black lives matter when it comes to the unborn child or unborn children? Because there's 70% of parents Planned abortion mills in the inner cities, and they're killing Black babies like 90 going north in the womb. Do those Black lives matter to Black Lives Matter people and other Blacks?
Well,
This dude said 90 going north. 90 going north, man. The way he phrased things just just gets people so upset. Like this gentleman that's sitting down across from him, he is pissed right now. But he's so chill. He cool. Like he understand, okay, this is what's gonna be. All right. Whew. Oh, calm down. Oh, keep the beast inside. Don't come out until we leave the parking lot. This dude wants to jump across the daggone stage and choke the hell out of Jesse.
Do those Black lives matter to Black Lives Matter people and other Blacks?
well, what about the mother? Because abortions are about the mother and the decision that that mother makes, right, about what's happening with her.
But I'm asking you, do those Black lives matter to Black people?
The Black lives that matter to Black people are the Black lives that are currently existing.
But not those in the womb.
The Black lives. Well, so all right. Look, you want to talk about what's going on in the womb? Let's go there. Why is it that Black mothers don't have access to maternal care? Why is it that Black mothers, when their kids are born, right, they go to hospitals and they don't have access to the resources? Serena Williams, right, who is a famous tennis player, almost died giving birth to her child, and she is a rich athlete, right? So before I stop, right, like again, yes, black kids in the womb matter to Black folks, but the issue is that systems continuously treat us bad, right? So regardless whether we're talking about abortions or even if we're talking about going through to give birth, right, like kids are coming into this world in a racist environment. So before I answer that question about yes, do people do Black kids matter in the womb? Yes, they do matter, and yes, Black kids do matter in the womb.
But not to Black
right?
Lives Matter. They don't care about that.
Well,
they made it clear they don't care about abortion.
Well, no.
They're in favor of abortion.
Talking about Black Lives Matter is in favor of Black women having autonomy over their bodies. That is a very different framing than saying that Black Lives Matter doesn't care about that. Because what we do know is that people get abortions for very different reasons. People don't just get abortions because they want an abortion. I support women making the healthiest choice for themselves.
How about abortion?
If an abortion is that, then yes.
Do you support same-sex marriage?
Yes, people should be allowed to get married to whoever they want to.
Amazing. That's mind-blowing. Isn't that like amazing? You got to admit that amazing, right?
What?
Being a Christian, you would support all that.
Well, so Jesus loved poor people. Jesus publicly defended.
He loved them enough not to kill them in the womb.
Jesus also loved a prostitute enough to defend her in public.
Right, but not to kill her.
Yeah, and he stopped people from killing her, a prostitute.
But you guys are
in
not
public.
stopping them from killing them in the womb.
Well, we're trying to stop people from killing us in regular life.
But not in the womb.
So again, right? Like, I think the broader issue that you're trying to bring up and that you're trying to provoke is this idea that for some odd reason that to Black Lives Matter, the broader network or the organization, that other segments of Black folks and Black lives like don't matter to them because we only care about police violence. I think that's what you're doing.
If black
So
men and women
stop.
got
Hold on, hold
married,
on,
would
hold
they
on,
have
hold on,
to
hold on, hold on,
have
hold on, hold on,
kill the
hold on, hold
baby?
on, hold on, hold on, hold on for 1 second. I think the issue is that you're only thinking of this organization, and that since this organization isn't addressing all those other things, right? Like that for some reason, right? Like that, like they don't think Black lives actually matter.
Actually, he's asking you that because there was a few signs. Before I started reacting to Black Lives Matter, I was in support of Black Lives Matter. The movement, the organization, whatever. I didn't. I mean, all I knew is that we were going to support them because it said Black Lives Matter, and there was a whole bunch of stuff on the news about all the different people who were being shot by the police. I didn't care to look into it any further to see if they were right, if they were wrong. I didn't care. When we was downtown at the Black Lives Matter march, I was in the march on the downtown DC. Middle of the street was said Black Lives Matter, and it was actually pretty cool when I was down there. That's actually way before I started understanding that the organization itself was using and abusing the systems for what they were telling. They were lying to people about the finances that was coming in through the organization. Now, some people might look at that as, well, other rich people do it all the time. They color outside the lines as long as it's legal to do so, as long as they can find loopholes, like paying your brother to run to head security, and you're paying your brother $800,000, more than that. Type of stuff like that is like, okay, what's up with that? And then buying all these different houses from the donations and paying yourself like a handsome salary, is super handsome. And they say, well, activists should be paid too. Yes, they should. Are they paid to live lavishly like a capitalist, or are they paid to live enough to still be in the fight with the people, but making sure that they're using a great majority of their resources for the people, not living lavishly? So we support what we support, but we support it in a way that seems so biased. And then when we're sitting across from someone who we know, because this gentleman is not, he's extremely intelligent. He's extremely intelligent. He's not one of the silly ones who don't know how to have a conversation. He answers the questions he wants to answer. And he ignores the ones that he know could possibly be a setup. And he tries to move forward. He make great examples and references and whatnot. But the same way he's telling Jesse Lee Peterson that he's not focused on the broad way of looking at the whole organization and movement. He's not realizing that he's the one not really seeing the broad view of the movement, because you're talking to somebody who has seen this before. He's seen it in other organizations while he was coming up. The guy was born in 1946, I believe. 1946, 49, whatever he said. He's seen some things, and he know that you guys look extremely familiar. You look very familiar. He wants you to know that although you're far more savvy when it comes to um, finances, and probably far more savvy when it comes to organizing, but he's saying you're still the same thing that he's seen before. You pick and choose whether or not you want to serve God or not, because you realize all that are involved in this thing. You saying anything black, I don't care if it's this, and this, whatever they want, whatever they want to do, it's cool with me as long as they are safe. So you pretty much telling God that what he decided for us as a people is not good enough, because God not down here to fight for us. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. We used to be extremely spiritual at one time. At least we tried to do the right thing. We tried. But then somehow we say, man, you know what? I choose the side of those people right there who didn't believe in God, or they kind of sort of believed in God, but you know, they decided to take action. Those people that took action who believed in God, yeah, I know a great deal of them. The way they took action was extremely effective too. And we know their names.
Understand that black people, black communities, and other black organizations have been addressing all of these same issues, right? Like for decades. There is a work group right now here in LA County, led by a woman named Adoja, that's focused specifically on African American maternal health, right? Like
Let me just say,
and
because of time, I'm totally run out of
well,
time. I
well,
want to ask you real fast. If black men and women got married, would they then have to kill the children in the womb?
well, I think the issue is right. Like, regardless if black men or women get married or not, is the woman going to be healthy enough to take that pregnancy to term?
Are you in favor of dismantling the police departments around the country?
I'm in favor of broader public safety, and police are not the ones who help to keep communities safe.
Are you in favor of dismantling the police departments?
I'm in favor of reimagining public safety so that way we can take that
I'm
money
black
that
and
police
slow, and I
use.
don't know what that means. Are you in favor of dismantling police departments?
I'm in favor of building up departments of real public safety,
Do
and
you
police are not that.
do you believe that there's something called systemic racism?
That's what I've said this entire time.
And what is it?
Literally everything I just said.
What is systemic racism?
Well, it's one thing for one individual person to say a racist thing or do a racist thing. It's
What
another
is a
thing
racist thing?
So let's say, for example, when
I also wanted to point out the one word he used, reimagining. That's a new thing now. Reimagine. A lot of things are being reimagined now. People's sexes are being reimagined. People's genders are being reimagined. Clearly, public safety being reimagined. Everything's being reimagined because, you know, people want to reimagine stuff.
George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, right? Like what happened was he was on the phone, like calling him all kind of different names, and then right like proceeded to follow him.
So
Right.
that's just, you did not follow him for the reason you said.
Well, so
But
so
is
so
that
time out, time out,
systemic
time out, time out,
racism?
time out, time out. That was an individual act of racism. The systemic part, right, is that it took, over 30 days to arrest him, right? Then after taking that long to arrest him, then right like the case went to trial, and then he eventually got off because the legal system protected him. So that is the systemic part. The individual act was protected by the
Do you
systemic
believe in
part.
innocent until proven guilty?
Hey, y'all need to explain that part to me because that sounded like it made sense. That sounded like what he just now broke down about the George Zimmerman thing. It sounded like it made a lot of sense the way he tied that in. Please let me know how y'all feel about that, my man. I need y'all to break that one down. That was a little that was a nice breakdown in my opinion, but I have to know more about what was going on. If y'all come through with some records, some receipts.
I believe that our entire court and judicial system is problematic and that it needs to be changed.
I'm going to ask you, do you personally believe in innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah.
Do you discriminate?
But what do you mean by discriminate?
Do you discriminate?
Well, again, right, like define discriminate.
You don't know what that means and you go to Berkeley?
No, I know exactly what it means, but
So
I think
do you
you have a very different understanding of words than I do.
No, I don't. That's what I'm asking you. Do you discriminate?
No, I don't.
You never discriminate.
No.
Amazing.
Amazing. Amazing. Amazing. That boy, wow, man. Let me pick up this second mic so I can go ahead and do the outro. But y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments below. If you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so. on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. Y'all have been amazing per usual. Love y'all.